What happens to teams without cultural diversity? In a previous video, I looked at what diversity is and how to judge at what level you are at your team or company. But that doesn't explain why managers should increase or even care about diversity. Of course, you don't have to do international business to notice a general push for more inclusion at organizations. Research firms like Gallup and McKinsey publish data to demonstrate the correlation between diversity and profitability. But in my experience, those charts only impress people who are already convinced. Skeptics will question the cause and effect relationship between higher profit and the higher variety of temperaments, philosophies, and work styles. Fortunately, there are much simpler ways to show the connection between a team's effectiveness and its level of diversity. Multi-talented teams work better than relatively uniform ones, for the same reason that humans work in teams at all. Groups think and work better than isolated individuals because most problems are complex. It's a bit like mathematics. School children solve simple equations, but technicians and engineers must work with non-ideal systems with lots of dynamic variables. And even understanding the problem must involve various alternative approaches. If you've ever worked with a team of engineers, or scientists, or finance specialists, you know how they correct each other's math. The solution must check out arithmetically and practically, and that is complicated. Imagine a management team working on a new investment, for instance, to buy a company in a promising market like Indonesia. This is not a simple math equation to make sure the firm doesn't spend more than it has. The decision must balance risk with compliance, financial security and profit, and must send a message to shareholders. If all members of the management team come from a sales background, they will prefer high-risk, high-return approaches. Not because they come from sales, it's actually the other way around. Business people with courageous and competitive nature often end up in sales, because there they are rewarded for their natural behavior. Sales is a very visible business area leading to fast promotion, so I actually work with management teams dominated by salespeople, and it's very hard to sell diversity to them. Of course it is. Teams where everyone thinks the same way make decisions quickly and smoothly. There is little resistance and the mood is great. And people even dress similarly. But sooner or later, the dark side of uniformity surfaces. The team makes decisions a bit too fast, creating conflict with other departments. It takes excessive risk and makes others nervous. When their ideas fail, others rejoice, silently or not so silently. The team's external support weakens. I am not saying there is anything wrong with salespeople. Members of this imaginary management team would take bold and ambitious steps because for years and decades as salespeople, they were rewarded for that behavior. They were paid to break through barriers, and then the financial and product teams delivered their promise, adding structure, consistency, and transparency. If the management team consisted entirely of financial controllers, lawyers or human resource specialists, it would be just as bad. In that case, it would be too little risk, too much structure, and as a result, similar resistance from the outside. And without external support, no team can perform successfully. Even the most brilliant ideas are worthless if others are reluctant to put them into practice. Finally, teams that lack diversity often start vicious circles. Since they agree internally but meet external disagreement, they simply blame others for their failures. When they need new team members, they hire people who dress, speak, act and think like existing members do, going deeper into uniformity. I often work with teams of smart and committed managers who don't even understand why their solutions don't work. Some of them have even made efforts to increase diversity, but only on a skin-deep level. They added people from another country, ethnic group, gender or function to break the cloning pattern. But if you watched my previous videos, you know how little that matters. unless the newcomer is different in at least one of the three key aspects of diversity: personality, values, and skills. As one of my mentors, Dr. Hagemann, wrote, teams succeed not because of the variety of their appearances or backgrounds, but because of the diversity of skills and personality types they possess. Take that away, and the team will soon be like a surgery with great anesthesiologists, but no nurses and surgeons, or a football team with 11 goalkeepers. But that shouldn't scare you. In fact, it makes life easier for managers. To change the variety of skin colors or nationalities in a team, you must replace people. But to adjust the diversity of work styles, views, and skills, you only need to adjust the way people work together. How to do that goes beyond the scope of this video, but you will find solutions in many of my blog posts, speeches, and videos on intercultural leadership. If you want to get more serious and find out more about consulting, coaching, or training options, find me online and drop me a line.